6 more runners left in scoring position with 2 outs. They might want to work on that before next season. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Phightins Phinal here on with your boy Matty B here on the Phightins Phinal here on the Edge of Philly Sports. What can I say? A much better pitching effort today by Noah Syndergaard. Not quite what I'm still looking for out of him, but a better overall starting pitching performance. But you shake your head at this team's inability to come up with the big hit or the clutch hit at the right time. And folks, in October baseball, it is all about clutch hitting and it's all about clutch pitching. And right now, we were getting one of two of those things, but it's going to be a really tough hill to climb if this team cannot figure itself out when it comes to driving in runners. 5-4 today. This West Coast trip or Western/West Coast trip to the desert/trip to the coast has been a nightmare, and it continues on. We are now trying to salvage a game in this series. We've lost the season series to the San Francisco Giants. We've missed an opportunity to kind of kick dirt on their grave as they are kind of technically still hovering around in that wild card chase. We are now a full game behind the Padres for that second wild card. The Padres are playing here tonight or a little bit later. So maybe we can get back down to a half a game if the Padres lose. But it's not going well. This is not the type of baseball we needed to start playing in early September. 5-4 loss out there to San Francisco. And Dave says, here we go again. Dave, I imagine you're referring to the September swoon or the late season collapse of the impending late season collapse. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to give into that thought yet. I don't want to be susceptible to that right now. I just want to take this thing one step at a time, and hopefully that we're getting better. And hopefully today's stabilizing pitching effort, not a great pitching effort from Noah Syndergaard, but a stabilizing pitching effort is the prelude to better things overall for this baseball team to salvage a game tomorrow. They come back home and maybe feast on some low-hanging fruit against the Marlins and the Nationals. So I got to kind of hold on to that thought. But if you're looking from the outside in, folks, obviously it's definitely looking that way as a September swoon, as it's just getting kind of comical. Let's head over to the line and let's check how things went down today at Oracle Park out there in the Bay. The Phillies would finish the game with 4 runs on 12 hits and 2 errors, costly errors again. 12 hits, good to see them hitting the ball, but once again, could not seem to figure out to get the clutch hit when they needed. The Giants would finish with 5 runs, 11 hits, and an error. How did it all happen? It happened right off the bat in the bottom of the first when the Giants got up on top of Noah Syndergaard in a very weird situation. Estrada would kind of weakly ground out to the pitcher, and then Syndergaard would then throw it away. You would throw it away out into the outfield. It forced in Lamont Wade to make it 1-0 Giants, and we were off and running. But to Syndergaard's credit, he locked it down and he got out of that inning by just giving up the 1 run. Because I know, and I'm not speaking for you out there, but I know that in my mind, when that first run came in and the manner that the run was scored, I was thinking, uh-oh, here we go. Another tough first inning from a Phillies pitcher. We're in a situation where the bases are loaded. We're in a situation where there's multiple runners on. Another costly error by our pitcher. I don't know what's happening with our pitchers not being able to throw the ball at first or our catchers being able to throw the ball to first recently, but whatever. I was thinking, oh, God, here we go again. But to Syndergaard's credit, he clamped it down and got out of that inning. The Phillies would get things going in the top of the second. Gene Segura would knock in Bryson Stott with a double to make it 1-1, and then Matt Vierling would knock in Gene Segura to make it 2-1. So the Phillies actually had a lead in this game heading into the third. But in the bottom of the third, Jock Peterson, somebody break that guy's knee or break his leg, because I don't need to see him playing against the Phillies anymore. He would knock in Andrew Knapp to tie the game at 2, and then Brandon Crawford would reach on another interesting fielding error by the corner butcher Rhys Hoskins, who he made a valiant effort, but then he couldn't pick the damn ball up. I mean, it was just a weird play. It would score Lamont Wade to make it 3-2 Giants. Bryson Stott would tie things up with a splashdown in the top of the fourth, tying things up at 3. Jock Peterson again would knock in Mike Yastrzemski to make it 4-3. This was in the bottom of the 5th. Then there come the Phillies right back in the 6th. Gene Segura would knock in Bryson Stott to make it 4-4. But then here we go. Jock Peterson would walk. forcing in JD Davis to make it 5-4, and that is your final score: 5-4 Giants here out there in Oracle Park. On the lines individually, Kyle Schwarber actually looked like he was alive today. 2 for 4 with a walk. It's when he didn't strike out today, guys. So that's we got to take this in baby steps and slow steps. 2 for 4. He showed signs of life. Reese Hoskins 1 for 5, struck out 3 times. Can't have that. Alec Boehm, who would end the game with a strikeout in the ninth, was 0 for 5. Horrible game offensively from him. Bryce Harper 1 for 2. Again, showing some life out there. Also had 2 walks. JT 1 for 4. Bryson Stott, I'm going to give him the offensive player of the game for the Phillies today. 3 for 4 with an RBI and that home run, that splashdown home run out there in Oracle Park. Gene Segura 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And Matt Verling was the other one who got the other RBI. He would be 1 for 4 with that RBI. For the Giants, Lamont Wade, 2 for 3 with 2 runs. Estrada was 2 for 4. Jock Peterson was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Break this guy's knee. Brandon Crawford 1 for 4 with an RBI. Austin Wins was 1 for 1. And that's pretty much the numbers of importance, I guess you would say, for the Giants. None of it really matters to me. On the pitching side, as I mentioned, Noah Syndergaard did not pitch great. He did not pitch great by no means. Please don't get my words twisted. It wasn't a great performance. It wasn't a bad performance. It was a stabilizing performance. It wasn't good nor bad. It was middle of the road. It was something we needed. We needed to build on something. And today, I wanted 6 from him or 7. He gave me 4. 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He did strike out 3 and he walked 1. Connor Brogdon would work a half inning, give up 2 hits and a strikeout. Brad Hand, man. Listen, Brad Hand and the Jersey's Familiar signing were probably, in my opinion, the 2 worst signings the Phillies had last winter. Brad Hand has been proving me wrong all season long. You know, he's been really good, but today, just put him on. I mean, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. The longest 6th inning I think I've ever seen in my life was because of Brad Hand. Andrew Bellotti and then Jose Alvarado would also come in and get some time for the Phillies. For the Giants, Jacob Junis, 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. He walked 2 and struck out 5. By the way, Brad Hand gets the loss today. He's now 3-2. Scott Alexander, Littell, Burbia, Garcia, Young, and Duvall. Duvall would get to save his 19th. Little would get credit with the win. He's now 2-2. And there you have it. 5-4 for, I said 49ers. 5-4 Giants. And just kind of another frustrating loss. Another frustrating. Better focus on the wild card because the prediction of winning the division you talked about is not possible in reality sense. Why? Why is it not possible? Right now, the Phillies are 12 games out with 29 left. That is possible. Don't tell me it's not possible. It is possible. Probable is probably the better word you should use. Possible, yes. It's mathematically extremely possible. Probable, yeah, I don't know about that. But possible, it is. Come on, man. Come at me with something better than that. It is possible. And I'm holding on to it. I still believe they will. Or throw a strike. Walter, please no more thinking about Brad Hand as a closer. He can't even close in the middle innings. A hit and 3 walks in 1 inning. And also the longest inning of my life. God, the guy works slow. Especially, of course, when he's putting runners on left and right. I agree with you, Walter. But overall, we cannot really get down too much on Brad Hand. He has not pitched that bad. Overall. I mean, I'm not going to get too down on him. Absolutely. I mean, being from the point that I never thought he should have been here in the first place, he's done well. He's done well. He's pitched well. He's overachieved expectations, or, you know, in my mind. Hank Hill. I don't know what that means. The 6th inning never wanted to end. Yeah, it was a long inning, old Dave. Very long inning. Extremely long inning. But there you have it, 5-4 Phillies with the loss. By the result of today's loss, the Phillies now on the season will go to 73-60. And yeah, we're now a full game out of that second wild card position behind the San Diego Padres. They're going to play here a little bit later tonight. Let's kind of go over that right now. The out-of-town scoreboard, the games that might matter something to the Phillies, because they all still do, or some of them still do. The Nationals and Mets are tied up at 1 in the top of the 6th. Chicago is trailing St. Louis 4-3 in the bottom of the 3rd. Atlanta's up on Miami 1-0 at the top of the 5th. Milwaukee trails Arizona 1-0, and they're just underway at the bottom of the 1st. And San Diego will be underway in here in about a half hour out there in LA against the Dodgers. So, we can hope. We can hope that we get some help, and obviously we need it. So, based on what we did today. Tomorrow, things are going to wrap up out there in San Francisco. The Phillies are going to send Ranger Suarez to the hill. He's going to take his 8-5, his 2.42 ERA, and hopefully not a repeat performance of his last start against the Diamondbacks. And he'll be opposed by Carlos Rondon at 12-7, 3.03 ERA. First pitch 4:05 out there in where is it? San Francisco. So can't wait. Giants win the series against the Phillies. They absolutely won the series against the Phillies, both this one and the overall season series. So there's a team other than the Mets that that's chasing us technically, because the Giants are still alive, that now owns a tiebreaker against us. So that's definitely not good. Absolutely not good. Thor is not a good pickup. Don't sugarcoat it. Give him the thumbs down already. I'm not going to give him the thumbs down because I know what the expectations of him were. He's not the Noah Syndergaard of 2, 3, 4 years ago. No one was asking him to be that. I want him to come in here and eat some innings. I want him to come in here and be that stabilizing pitcher. And, for good or for bad, he did that today. I would like to have seen him pitch more or longer. Obviously, it didn't work out. It hasn't worked out per se to my expectations up to this point with him being here. I will give you that. There is still a lot left on the table, I think, for him. I am concerned about why they didn't pitch him against the Mets. Why didn't the Angels pitch him against the Mets? That's still a little bit of a mystery. But you know what? It could be worse. And I'm okay with it right now. The way this pitching staff is kind of unraveled, both on the hill and medically, I need everybody I can get right now. And like it or not, or whether or not I like it or not, Noah Syndergaard is going to be a vital member of this rotation heading down the stretch. Like it or not, he's here and he's got to do the best he can. I think he's still a serviceable pitcher. He's still a very good 4 or 5 in this rotation, and that's what we're asking him to be. Anything higher than that, yeah, I'll give you that. But right now, I'm okay with the way he's pitched, or the role that he's going to pitch here. I'm not okay with the way he's pitched. He hasn't pitched all that well. It's been a struggle. Today was positive, though. Today was a lot more positive today than it was on Sunday against the Pirates. So I will give him that. Again, tomorrow, 4:05, Ranger Suarez will get the opportunity to kind of pull the Phillies out of this and move things in a nostalgia game against the Giants, so we can take one home with us. Yeah, but 4 innings is horrible. I told you that. Obviously, I wanted 6, I wanted 7, but this is 2022. Sometimes 4 innings is all you're going to get from a guy. It's just the way it is. I don't agree with it. He was struggling. He was laboring a little bit at the end there. I didn't think he had much more left in the tank. It was probably the right decision to move him when they did, because he was in trouble again, and Brogdon came out and pitched his way out of it. So I got you there. As I said, not 100% on board with it. He hasn't pitched well. I agree, but he was better today, and that's what I'm taking from that. I'm taking that from there. Mets and Nationals tied 1-1, bottom of the 6th. Thank you, Scoreboard Dave. I just said that. Did I not say that, everybody? Did I not just give you guys the scores? Well, Dave wants to kind of jump in there. Dave, that's all right, man. Keep us up to date. I appreciate that, man. I really do. All right. So let's go ahead and pay some bills. Sorry about that. I got distracted. I apologize. It's Saturday night here on EOP. You're listening to me. Tomorrow morning at 9, the boys at Devereaux Sports are going to come at you with some live action at 09 or at 09. Man, I just went back to the Army at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then me directly after the game against the Giants tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow night, all across, all the time, all across Philly and beyond here on EOP. So be on the lookout for that. Man, it's like all falling apart on me right now. Um, So the fish hobbyist says DeGrom is the answer. Stealing from the Mets next season at all costs. I don't know. I mean, when DeGrom is pitching, there's nobody in the league better than him. But the problem is when DeGrom is pitching, that's the issue. He hasn't pitched full season in a couple years. I agree though. But if there's an opportunity to get DeGrom, sure. But I'm sure it's not going to be that easy. All right. But yeah, I don't dispute that. DeGrom's a beast when he's healthy. The problem is when he's healthy. All right, folks, listen, that's going to wrap me up as dealing with some technical issues on this side. Don't forget, as I mentioned, the EOP schedule. Go ahead over to PhillySportsTrips.com and check out what they have to offer. The DC trip is closed down, but you definitely could probably check out some more stuff that they have to offer you and that they have going on the rest of the season. And also, Dave Archerry, 610-565-0300. For all your workman's comp, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law, give them a call and tell them the boys at EOP sent you. And yeah, so that's going to do me in for the night. It's been an awesome 2-4. I had a doubleheader today. I appreciate you guys tuning in and kind of coming along with me. Look for me tomorrow after the Phillies Giants wrap up their 3-game set out there in San Francisco, and we'll talk hopefully a Phillies victory. Hopefully we get back on the W column. And hopefully we can salvage a game here against the Giants. And we can put to bed some of this September swoon talk because I know it's just ramping up. I know it's just heating up. And I got it, though. There are certain aspects of this game that need to be tweaked. They need to lock certain things down. The not being able to drive runners in has been a frustrating thing for me all season long. You guys don't seem to – some of you know because you've been along for the ride the entire time with me. But this is not something new about this team. This has been happening since April. And as I mentioned at the top, the playoffs, October, is all about clutch hits. That's all it is. Everything in October is a clutch hit. And if the Phillies cannot deliver, then it's going to be a very long road to hoe in October. They got to be able to knock runners in. And it's frustrating that they cannot consistently do that. They got to figure it out. It is extremely frustrating to me to watch it. And I'm sure it's frustrating with you. Why is it we leave so many guys stranded on base with? I would imagine you're just going to tell me with multiple outs, Sean. It's very simple. It's so simple. It's right there on the tip of your face, man. We don't have the hitters in the lineup that are designed to do that. We are too power centric. We have home run or nothing in our lineup. That is it. The hitters that are not like that, the Alec Bohms, the Matt Verlings, the Bryson Stotts, I guess Gene Segura fits into that category. They're just not able to either one be in a position to do it because of their positioning within the lineup, or they're just not, skilled enough to do it. We just don't have enough of those types of hitters in this lineup. We have too many of the Kyle Schwarbers, home run or nothing. Rhys Hoskins, home run or nothing. Bryce Harper, lately double play or nothing, but home run or nothing. JT, home run or nothing. We just don't have enough of those types of hitters sprinkled in our lineup. That needs to be addressed next offseason. Trey Turner will go a long way in remedying that. If we can get him, put him as our leadoff hitter, it changes the dynamic of our lineup right there. Move Schwarber down to 6 or 7 and let Trey Turner lead off. Bat Gene Segura second. Or I guess Bryson Stott second. You probably can't keep Gene Segura on his player option or his club option if you do that. Get something going on the top of that lineup. Get some runners on for Bryce and JT and Rhys and Schwarber. Get those runners on for the guys that can hit home runs, or just sprinkle somebody down in that lineup. Stick Alec Bohm at 5 instead of batting him up near 3 or 2 or 4. It's just frustrating because we don't have those types of hitters in this lineup. And you're not going to win much. Or you're going to win. You're going to win a lot of games like we've won with 163 home runs for the season. It's fun to watch. Everyone loves to watch home runs. But we cannot live like that. We've proven it. Back in March, we were all excited. Me being like, we're going to win games 17-16. We're going to outbash teams. It doesn't work like that in Major League Baseball. You need to be able to move runners along and in. And the Phillies have not been able to do that. Folks, I put out this number a long time ago. I put it out earlier today. I did not that long time ago. The Phillies left 8 more runners in total on base today. That brings up their season total to 854 runners left on base. They are going to eclipse 1,000 runners left on base by the time the season's over. That is unheard of. That is a stat that shocks and like gives me a heart attack. 854 runners left on base. That's amazing. And out of those 854, 469 have been left on base in scoring position with 2 outs. 469 runners left on base in scoring position with 2 outs. I'm not expecting every run to score. It doesn't work like that. Take a quarter of that. Take a quarter of those runners and score them. Maybe 5 to 10 more wins. We got to figure out how to do it. We got to figure out how to run and move runners along and get people in. We don't have the hitters right now. The way the lineup is designed, it's not designed for that. It's home run or nothing. And when it's working, it's beautiful. But when it's not working, like it's been lately, or like it's been consistently all season long, you see what you get. You get frustrating baseball. The fact that you keep that stat blows my mind. Listen, Dave, very early on in the season, I saw that stat becoming an issue, and I said, you know what, I'm going to keep track of this and see how actually bad it gets. And we're about to hit 1,000. We are going to hit 1,000 runners left on base. It's unheard of, man. It's unheard of. Outfielder Dalton Guthrie was pulled from Lehigh's game. Phillies need an outfielder. It could be Nicky C with an injury oblique. Yeah, and I heard that was an issue this morning or right before the game that he was pulled off to take an X-ray of that oblique. So potentially that could be a move. The Donnie Sands move is also starting to kind of amaze me. What is this? And why is he playing so frequently right now in some really tight situations? They had him up there in yesterday's game. I got it. Hell, they should have put me in yesterday's game. I probably would have had a little bit more of an impact than the team did. But today, in a crucial situation, for having a guy bad up there, I don't understand that. I don't. Is there something going on with JT's health that we're not aware of? Because I've been trying to rack my brain of wondering, why do we have a third catcher here? Is JT wearing out? Are they trying to save him for October? Because I don't get it. I still don't get why we have a third catcher here. Really don't. Really don't. But anyway, listen, we could talk all night, and that's kind of what I want to do. But we're gonna wrap this thing up. Don't forget, tomorrow, 4:05, Oracle Park. Ranger Suarez will get the nod for the Phillies. He'll go for the opportunity to try to salvage this series or salvage a game in this series. Until we talk again, folks, go Phils, and we'll see you tomorrow.